Welcome back to Hero Villain Mashup. This is basically a segment where I take a hero or a hero team, put them against a different hero or villain, in like a what if scenario. Not so much fight, but more like talk about what would it be like if the two characters like actually did battle. So let's get into it. Let's jump right into this whole idea, and you can see from the title, yeah. Moon Knight and Freddy Krueger. You may be thinking this makes no sense. Like, this legit makes no sense. Moon Knight would push his shit in. And also, Freddy... Even Freddy was in the real world, yeah, but in the dream world, Moon Knight's dead. Like, Moon Knight's dead in the dream world. But that's where the interest comes in. This is where the real idea came from. This, in fact, was just a spark of an idea, and I was like, the more I think about it, I was like, yeah, Freddy Krueger would actually make a really good Moon Knight villain. Why? Because, one, Moon Knight actually is crazy as fuck. Maybe even crazier than Freddy. Two, Moon Knight has weaponry that can combat any kind of demonic force, even in the dreamscape. This is why Nightmare doesn't mess with him. Yeah, Nightmare, the Lord of Dreams, doesn't fuck with Mark Spector. It's weapons he's acquired... Yeah, so let's talk about the scenario. So, let's imagine, like, Freddy preying on Mark Spector. And trust me, Mark has a lot to really prey on. Like, Mark has a lot of, like, things you can really use to... use against him. His multiple personalities, his devotion to Khonshu, the cult of Khonshu, literally everything. So it's literally like there's a whole treasure chest of things Freddy can use against him. Like, there's literally a whole, like, just menagerie of weaponry that he can use. And that's the scary part, is that's really the most terrifying thing, because Freddy could just pull out anything from Mark Spector's mind and use it against him, like having him fight his own alternate personalities and whatnot. Yeah, wouldn't be fun for Mark. Now, on the other end of that spectrum, however, we have Mark Spector, who is literally one of the most psychotic people in the world. Like, even Deadpool says, you've got issues, man. Like, when Wade Wilson tells you that you are... when Wade Wilson says you're crazy, you know you're crazy. So, Mark, literally, his psyche would be so... Like, the moment Freddy would go into Mark Spector's dreamscape, he'd literally be like, oh, wow, what did I step in? Holy crap, what the fuck? So, that would be the big thing. That would be, like, a major factor into all of this, is that Mark's mental instability is literally could be used into a weapon that he can forge into literally anything. And keep in mind, Mark also has control over his mindscape. He literally used his mindscape to decimate a sentient plague in his mindscape. It was a whole thing in Marvel Contagion. It was this mini-series event that literally no one read, where where Moon Knight basically used his mindscape and all of his alternate personalities to stop a sentient fungus virus. It was a whole thing. You probably watched the whole episode on Comic Pop. It was a whole... That's literally all I could say. It was a thing. It was literally like, what the fuck? In here, so among other things, Mark also has collected various weaponry throughout the ages. Like, throughout the years he's been Moon Knight, he's collected various weapons that are basically weapons that he can use to fight the undead and the supernatural. In fact, his armor is actually, like, based in, mystic weaponry that is similar to Black Panther's. Like, even T'Challa has noted that that Moon Knight's armor is, like, something he can use to fight ghosts with. So, yeah. Freddy is himself like a wraith or a dream demon, and can actually, like, so when Mark Spector, like, goes to punch Freddy would be like, haha, you can't hit me here. Oh my god. Holy shit, man, how did you do that? And Mark would be like, yeah, now you're scared. Welcome to my world, bitch. So that would be the big thing, is that Mark would be using all of his like prowess and like his intellect and his own insanity, as well as the weaponry he's gathered over the ages to essentially like mess with, like turn the tables on Freddy. And keep in mind, Freddy's never really had like anyone turn the tables on him outside of Dream Warriors. Keep that in mind, is that Freddy has always been in control of the dream world. He's never really had someone who's never really been like could alter it against him. Like he's never, and even when they did, like he did get to kill some of the Dream Warriors in the Dream Realm. He did manage to kill a good amount of them, but at the same time, Freddy's never really had someone who's really challenged him like that. Mark, on the other hand, could definitely challenge him. Mark Spector could definitely 100% challenge him in a face-off. Like, that's the thing, is that he would just think, oh, this guy's just nuts, I can just use that against him. And Mark would be like, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. And, oh, the insanity. Oh, the fucking insanity. Because even Freddy would be like, whoa, stop. And there's a good chance that there's also something Mark also has that Freddy doesn't have. Yeah, Freddy has the dream demons that give him his power, but what does Mark have in his corner? A literal god, like literally literally Khonshu is in his corner. Like if things get so bad, like on the off chance that Freddy gets the upper hand, he can just call out to Khonshu, and Khonshu would be like, "Burr, you're gone, Freddy." And that's the thing, is that Freddy's also never really needed to fight. Like Freddy's never really needed to have hand-to-hand combat. Like obviously the closest he had to have with hand-to-hand with any kind of fighting experience was against Jason. And well, we all know how that went for him. He had to keep using his tricks. He had to keep using every weakness against him, although water was never a weakness, but we're going to ignore that. So that's another major element you have to look at this, is that Freddy really has to keep Moon Knight on his toes. He really has to keep Moon Knight like constantly making him question himself, or question his religion, or his multiple personalities, everyone who's been in his life. He has to keep Freddy has to keep Mark on his toes. Like he would have to consistently keep Mark mentally unbalanced. But that's the thing, is that Mark could easily just turn the tables. Like he'll be like, "Oh, so you want to see crazy, right? Let me show you crazy, and let me show you the god of insanity." That's basically what Moon Knight is sometimes. He is literally the god of insanity. And God help Freddy if Mark manages to get him out of the dream realm, because if he couldn't, he doesn't know how to fight before, imagine being in the real world where he can be really hurt. And keep in mind, Mark has all those weapons that he can use to harm the dead. Like, he can even punch ghosts. Yeah, the dude can punch ghosts. So when Freddy gets pulled into the real world, ooh boy! But again, keep in mind, Freddy is a trickster. He is a dude who could literally, just mentally just pull the right string, and, Mark's mind just comes apart. So you have to keep that in mind. But yeah, the more at first, the thought just crossed my mind is Freddy as a Moon Knight villain. Are you kidding me? That wouldn't work. But then the more I thought about it, the more I was wait, this could actually work. The more I thought about it, the more I was yeah, Freddy would be a pretty good villain. He actually would be a decent recurring Moon Knight villain because of all the things he could do in the Dream Realm, and Moon Knight does have experience in the Dream Realm. So yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this idea? What do you think it would be like if Freddy and Moon Knight were, if Freddy Krueger was in Moon Knight's Rogues Gallery? Do you think he could take him? Do you think Freddy would end Moon Knight, just comment below, let me know. And once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.